For the varsity boys game begin.
Welcome into the Cougar Den here on the campus of Phoenix Christian. Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Nicholas Pietrzycki. I will be the play-by-play voice for Phoenix Christian boys basketball team from here on out for the rest of the season. I apologize for those that were with us earlier in the season. I did take a trip back home to Cleveland for Christmas break, very much needed after a long semester, but you know what else is long? The basketball season, and we're here for it. Your Phoenix Christian Cougars taking on the Glendale Prep Griffins. Very familiar matchup. A couple of these Cougars have played the Griffins in football recently. But what is on tap for tonight, you might be asking? Well, for the Cougars, they were supposed to play on the 5th. They'd end up playing Trivium Prep forfeit. So this is their very first game in the month of January. A great way to start off the new year for the Cougars. Glendale Prep coming in very hot. They just beat a Phoenix Country Day team that the Cougars lost to back on December 30th to end the Coyote Invitational. So very, very interesting as they're getting set up for a special intro here on the Cougar Den, and I will flip to that once it does begin, but very quickly, once again, a very, very interesting Glendale as the lights were shut out on me, and I will flip it for the Cougar special intro.
Here we go. Cougars fans, make some noise for your varsity men's basketball team. Woo!
Sparklers were in full effect, and so am I here. We did not know when that would occur, but it has occurred, and you know what, again, I'm here for it. You guys at home are here for it. A little more about the Griffins of Glendale Prep here. As I mentioned, they beat Phoenix Country Day by 5 most recently, but before that, they had lost their previous 5. So prior to beating Phoenix Country Day, the Griffins were on a 5-game skid. It's a great way to end it against a very good Phoenix Country Day team. To start the year, they're on a 5-game win streak. So you kind of see how a team can be streaky. This Griffins team could be described as that beginning of the year 5 wins, recently 5 losses. On the other side for the Cougars, well, they've been doing pretty consistently all year. 9-3 record coming into tonight, and well, hoping to improve to 10 wins here and get their first win in the month of January. Tip-off is coming up here from the Cougar Den, live on the Phoenix Christian Basketball YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere, folks. Hello, everyone, and welcome back into the Cougar Den here on the campus of Phoenix Christian Middle School and High School. Hello, everyone. My name is Pietrzycki. I'll be taking you through the action tonight and for the rest of the season for the Phoenix Christian Cougars. Wanted to redo that pregame segment for those of you maybe that are just tuning in, about 5 minutes until tip-off, or for those of you that were there and saw that I kind of got shut out by the rather cool intro, the rather sparkly intro, if you will, of the Phoenix Christian Cougars. A lot of sparklers, so I'm not opposed to that. I like sparklers. More of a firework guy maybe myself, but coming into tonight, let's meet the visiting Glendale Prep Griffins and what they're all about. Glendale Prep coming in, record of 8-7, ranked. AIA rankings came out yesterday, January 9th. Glendale Prep ranked number 16 with that record of 8-7. They have a 2-0 record in their region, 2-0, so they're tied for first in the region. A very good team, but a very streaky team, if you will. Start of the year, a 5-game losing streak earlier in the year. Some question marks, they answer that. Began the year on a 5-game winning streak, then recently was on a 5-game losing streak, goes and beats Phoenix Country Day, a team that this same Cougar team that they will face lost to on December 30th in their final game, the Coyote Invitational at Arizona Lutheran. So you're asking yourself kind of, what is this Griffin team like? Well, very streaky would be, but very, very solid. Not a team to be taken lightly, not a team to be trifled with. On the other hand, your Phoenix Christian Cougars coming in tonight with a record of 9-3, doing very good, 1-0 in region play, a chance to go 2-0 tonight, taking on Glendale Prep. A big win helps that automatic playoff berth at the end of the year for rankings, but also just to purely for momentum, because guess what? Tomorrow, you're playing that same Phoenix Country Day team that you lost to on December 30th, that this Glendale Prep team beat. So you beat them, you go back to the drawing board and say, well, if we can beat them and they beat Phoenix Country Day, we can beat them as well. We'll see a lot of Phoenix Country Day tomorrow, but what's it going to look like for the Cougars? Well, obviously the offense and everything goes through number 44, senior Bryce Anderson. Bryce Anderson, the key to this Phoenix Christian offense through in and throughout. Last broadcast I did against Sedona Red Rock, he kind of sat, not really needed, but he'll be needed today against a very scrappy Glendale Prep team. The second option, Malachi Moore-Neal. We saw him shine last month against Sedona Red Rock, the last game I was at, can flourish as the number 1, but two very, very interesting teams, and really scoring-wise, Glendale Prep maybe not the high-scoring team compared to that of Phoenix Christian, but a very, very good, solid team defensively as well, only allowing 48 points a game. The Cougars allowing 46, so both teams really good all around. Maybe Glendale Prep a little less good on the offensive side, but two teams that match up very well, very interesting game. The other cannot take the other lightly. That'll do for this quick pregame here on the Phoenix Christian Basketball YouTube channel. Tip-off is about 2.5 minutes away, so set your timers. Now make it about 2 minutes and 20 seconds until we have tip-off here from the Cougar Den. My name is Pietrzycki. I'll be taking you through the action here tonight. See you in about 2 minutes.
Jacob Kraus.
We welcome you back into the Cougar Den here on the Phoenix Christian Basketball
50,
YouTube
Chase
channel.
Fredrickson.
Starting lineups to be introduced, and
Now, for the
then
starting
Phoenix
lineup
Christian
for
basketball to be
your
played
Phoenix Christian
very
Cougars.
momentarily.
At guard, number 4, Xavier Sandoval. At center, number 44, Bryce Anderson. At guard, number 24, Chase Hagan. At guard, number 3, Ruben Guerrero. And at guard, number 10, Malachi Moore-Neal. Make some noise, fans.
Starting lineup for the Glendale Prep Griffins: Daniel Anderson, Ethan Wilson, Jacob Kraus, Jacob Som, and Chase Fredrickson. And the starting lineup for your Phoenix Christian Cougars: Ruben Guerrero, Xavier Sandoval, Malachi Moore-Neal, Jace Hagan, and Bryce Anderson. It's time for Phoenix Christian basketball. Anderson and Fredrickson do the duties of tip-off. For reference, Anderson listed on the roster at 6'6". Fredrickson did not have a height listed on the roster. You can only imagine him standing up. He's a little bit taller even than Anderson, as Fredrickson will win the opening tip-off. Som holding it in the far side wing. Fredrickson working against Bryce Anderson. 3 ball from Som. Good! And the Griffins start off hot. Hagan dishes it out to Moore-Neal, who kicks it back. Sandoval driving in the low paint, kicks it to Malachi Moore-Neal. Floater, good! Both Cougar and Griffins making their opening shots. Score is currently 3-2 in favor of Glendale Prep. Pull-up jumper blocked by Ruben Guerrero. Cougars in transition. Hagan driving, Euro step layup off the mark, tipped in by Bryce Anderson. Good work there from Bryce Anderson to stay alert. Get the easy putback points. Pass almost intercepted by Hagan. Som was trying to find his man low in the paint, and Hagan rose like a salmon, jumping out of the river. Looks like we have a double foul on Jacob Kraus and Bryce Anderson, so offsetting penalties, if you will, for my football fans out there. Kraus tries to find Fredrickson, intercepted by Anderson, and he'll take it himself. Numbers in favor of the Griffins. And a travel. Daniel Anderson. Bring up the ball past center court. Som trying to find Fredrickson low in the paint. Fredrickson, hook shot, good. Matchup, expect the Griffins to go to early and often. Fredrickson, the tallest player out there on the court and on the bench. Moore-Neal, elbow three, off the mark, and an over-the-back foul on Guerrero.
This is for his second team foul.
Coach Ben Stryzak encouraging Malachi Moore-Neal to take his shot. Second time the Griffins have given Moore-Neal space on the near side wing. 5:22 left to play here in the first quarter. Griffins lead by 1. Fredrickson low in the paint, off the mark. Rebound hauled in by Anderson. Hagan driving, puts up a layup, no shot, and he draws a foul. Hagan just saw a little bit of space that opening that crease and took it, and no one on the Cougar bench is complaining. Sandoval, and a 5-second violation. Thought he got it out in time to Hagan, but the Cougars turn it back over. Battle of two 2A Central rivals in the Griffins and the Cougars. Historically, this matchup has gone in favor of Phoenix Christian. Phoenix Christian winning 4 of 6. Glendale Prep only winning 2 of the 6, so a 4-2 record in favor of the Cougars. Most recently as Malachi Moore-Neal with an easy layup. As most recently back in the 2022-2023 season, Phoenix Christian won both matchups at Glendale Prep and here in the Cougar Den. Substitutions coming in, Zaire Smith for the Cougars and Maddox Smith for the Griffins. Cougars lead by 1, 4:06 left to play in the first quarter. Fredrickson says clear out. He'll take it himself. Never mind, he dishes it off. Game of hot potato. And Bryce Anderson takes the charge. Cougar ball. Little smile there on the face of Anderson, knowing that he did what he had to do there to get the ball back for the Cougars. Anderson, one of the 2 captains, along with Xavier Sandoval, who currently has the ball at the point. Sandoval taking himself floater, clanks around the iron and goes in. Sandoval extends the Cougar lead to 3. 3:24 left to play in the first quarter. Some pump fake. Somehow ends up with the ball once again. Layoff off the mark. He finds it once again. It's like he has magnets on the fingers. And Fredrickson gets the layup, but not after some halted breath from the Griffin faithful that have traveled to Phoenix, as that ball sat on the left side of the rim for what seemed like hours. Addition to Moore-Neal, his shot off the mark, gets his own rebound, and that one is good.
With the putback for 2.
Malachi Moore-Neal, a game-leading 6 points so far, with 2:35 left to play in the first quarter. Fredrickson, a 3 off the back of the backboard, or excuse me, rim. Cougar ball. One of those shots where looks like it hit both the backboard and the iron. And checking into the game for the first time tonight, Dominic Paris. A little bit of rotation now for the Cougars. Zaire Smith tries to dish it out to Sandoval. And the Griffins slow it down. Spinning and a travel called against Jacob Kraus. Cougar defense holds strong once again. Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter of action here at the Cougar Den. Anderson, pump fakes from 3. Sandoval driving and draws a foul. That'll most certainly go against Fredrickson.
Foul's at number 50. Chase Fredrickson, his second 14 foul.
Sandoval to go to the line to shoot 2. Sandoval started the year as the quarterback for the Phoenix Christian football team as he gets his first free throw to go. And actually injured his right bicep in pregame when the Cougar football team was set to take on Glendale Prep at Glendale Prep, as fate would have it, as the Cougars go full court press. Wide open is Maddox Smith, a block by Zaire Smith. Sandoval with the steal. Kick out to Anderson with the one-handed slam.
Big dog, Bryce Anderson.
And the Cougars lead by 7 with 1:15 to go. And that's one that'll get your blood pumping and the adrenaline levels high. And a travel, and it's Cougar basketball.
30-second timeout, Griffins.
Glendale Prep takes their first timeout, a 30-second timeout. Whoa, boy. What a sequence of events. Under a minute left to play here, 58.9 to be precise. The block from Smith and the dunk from Anderson, and that is exactly what the Phoenix Christian Cougars will want to do every single game of the year. Quick transition, Anderson a big jam to get the crowd into it, get his team into it. But to finish up the thought about Xavier Sandoval, against Glendale Prep in football, his season was ended. He was not able to play in another game until the very final one against Tonopah Valley, but that was merely as an omen and a token, as he only took one snap on the field as to signal his last play. No shot. Offensive foul on Kraus. And Kraus is wanting an explanation.
Foul's number 10, Malachi Moore-Neal.
I beg your pardon, foul actually goes against Malachi Moore-Neal, or rather Dom Paris. Paris saying, hey, the foul's on me. Doesn't want Moore-Neal to rack up fouls early in the first quarter. Kraus no longer confused to inbound. Quick inbound corner 3. Good. Daniel Anderson. That cuts the Cougar lead back down to 4 as Sandoval takes his time. Sandoval yells out instructions. Anderson cross-court pass to Zaire Smith. Griffin showing a very clear 3-2 zone defense. Sandoval thought about a 3 and said never mind. Anderson to Sandoval. Under 10 seconds to play in the first quarter. Zaire Smith is called for the travel. And boy, did he want all of that rising, just like his teammate Anderson. 5.8 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Griffins try to go quick, intercepted by Anderson. Cougars get a chance from 3. No.
At the end of the first quarter, your Cougars leading the Griffins 14-10. Make some noise, fans.
After 8 minutes of action here from the Cougar Den, Phoenix Christian leads Glendale Prep 14-10. We'll take a quick break and be back with you in a moment. Welcome back to the Cougar Den here for more Phoenix Christian boys basketball. Leading scorer for the Phoenix Christian Cougars, Malachi Moore-Neal, with 6 points in the first quarter. And for the Griffins, Chase Fredrickson with 4. As Cougars quickly turn it over here to begin the second quarter. Smith to Anderson. Som, contested shot off the mark. Cougars trying to work around the 3-2 zone of Glendale Prep, and for a second straight possession, the Cougars turn it over. Dominic Parrish checking in for the Cougars, as is Chase Fredrickson for the Griffins. Smith pump fake, dishes out to his left. Wilson driving. Foul appears to be on Dom Paris.
Number 11, Dom Paris. Griffins ball.
An inbound pass stolen by Dom Paris, so commits a foul and then quickly gets the ball back. Foul of 3 from Hagan, no good! Put back jam by Bryce Anderson. And Anderson opens the account for the second quarter with an emphatic two-handed jam. Smith finds Som in the low post. Off the mark. Smith gets the rebound. In a bit of trouble. Pass almost intercepted by Hagan. For a split second, you would have thought Hagan was a wide receiver grabbing the ball. Arm stretched back like a prime 2014 Odell Beckham. 6:15 left to play. Cougars lead by 6. Corner 3 from Som. Clanks off the iron. Hagan quickly to Moore-Neal, and one!
Count the bucket.
Biggest lead of the night for the Cougars, 8, and Moore-Neal with a chance to extend it to 9.
Malachi at the line shooting 1.
Moore-Neal can't convert the and one. That one goes off the back of the rim. Just put a little too much on it. Under 6 minutes to play. Glendale Prep looking for their first points of the second quarter. Smith, corner three, no good. Rebound grabbed by Hagan. Hagan, known more for his point guard and shooting, grabbing a couple rebounds. Guerrero, corner three, no good. Paris, yes!
Paris, easy putback for two.
That one was all Bryce Anderson, tipping it right to Dom Paris. And all Paris had to do was just finish his dinner. 5:14 left to play. And that'll be another foul going against Paris.
Fouls on number 11, Dom Paris.
Paris just trying to jump the gun a little too early there, working against Fredrickson. Substitution coming in. Zaire Smith for the Cougars. And I believe Kraus for the Griffins. Anderson. Pass intercepted. Here goes Morneal. All the space in the world.
The steal.
Malachi Morneal with an emphatic one-hand jam. And the Griffins take their second timeout of the quarter. Welcome back to the Cougar Den. 5:01 left to play in the second quarter. Cougars lead by a score of 22-10. Gotta be thinking out of the timeout. Head coach Noah Roundy saying to his team, hey, we don't have to get an emphatic jam like Anderson or Morneal. We don't need to shoot threes. We just need to string together some buckets to get ourselves back in the game. Cougar defense has been stifling to start the second quarter. Anderson, deep three. No good. Rebound hauled in by Smith. Anderson, his follow-up three. No good. Anderson tried to open the bank, but only the ATM was open. Sam with a nice pass to Kraus. Kraus has his first points of the night. And the Griffins, their first points of the second quarter. Morneal working low. His shot off the front of the iron. Sam. Kicks it out to Smith. Back to Sam. His three, no good. Rebound collected by Anderson. Zaire Smith, a rising catch to keep that one from going out of bounds. Guerrero pump fake, his layup, no good. The third time is good. Bryce Anderson. It took him 3 tries, but the Cougars finally get 2 points and have doubled the score of Glendale Prep, and another block by Malachi Morneal. Hagan to Anderson, and another two-handed slam. I would say that ranks as probably the worst slam dunk done by the Cougars today, and that's saying something. Cougars lead 26-12. 2:40 left to play in the second quarter. Cross-court pass finds Smith. No good. Miss or not, still Cougar ball. Foul
Number 10.
is on Ethan Wilson,
Cougar ball.
his first of the night. Guerrero checks out, Sandoval checks in. Anderson with 10, and Malachi Morneal also with 10. Sandoval dishes it to Morneal. His shot blocked. A lot of traffic for Morneal to contest with there in the paint. .205 left to play before halftime. Anderson got the call for him earlier in this game. This time it goes against the Cougars and Xavier Sandoval. Checking in for the Griffins for the first time tonight, Talon Sprouse. Som to Fredrickson. A lot of traffic for Som. Hagan nearly intercepts it off the palms of Sprouse. And boy, did that basketball just not want to get collected by anyone, Cougar or Griffin. Anderson, corner three, off the mark. Under a minute 30 to play. Pass intercepted by Xavier Sandoval. Over to Anderson. No shot. So even if he would have made it, no and one. Coach Roundy of Glendale Prep yelling out instructions to the 5 on the floor wearing blue. Xavier Sandoval with a nice bit of big man work there, but the call is travel against Zaire Smith. I am also confused as well as Zaire Smith as Xavier Sandoval rips the pockets of Anderson and puts it in for 2. You're not going to get many layups easier than that. Sandoval with 6 on the night. Som dishes it to Fredrickson. He's blocked by Morneal.
Another big block.
Anderson thought about taking himself and dishes it out. Under 40 seconds left to play. Anderson puts it up. No good. Rebound by Fredrickson.
Foul number 44, Bryce Anderson.
Anderson checking out, checking in. Freshman Gio Young. Coach Stryzek, I think, just trying to save Anderson from any more foul trouble. And a push against Sandoval. Anderson to go to the line to shoot 2. Already has 3 on the night from 1 3-pointer made. First one. Off the front of the rim, the back of the rim, and then in. Paris checks in for a little more height down low to potentially grab this rebound and drain the rest of the clock before halftime. Anderson's 2 for 2 from the line. Stryzak wants Hagen to go slow. Hagen loses the ball, and it's Glendale Prep ball. Griffins loving all of that one. They have a chance to cut the lead just slightly ever more before halftime. Under 5 seconds. Anderson needs to get a shot off. He does. Nowhere close, and that is how the first half ends from the Cougar Den.
28-14. Make some noise.
Cougars have doubled the score of the Griffins, leading 28-14 heading into halftime. Point leaders for the Cougars, Bryce Anderson with 10, tied with Malachi Morneal also with 10. Xavier Sandoval adding in 6 of his own. For the Griffins, Anderson with 5 and Fredrickson with 4. Cougar defense holding the Griffins to only 4 points in the second quarter. That'll do it from the first half here from the Cougar Den. 16 more minutes of Cougar basketball coming up here on the Phoenix Christian basketball YouTube channel. Still have football on the tongue, folks. We'll be back in about 9 minutes for the start of the second half. This is Phoenix Christian basketball. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Phoenix Christian Basketball here on the Phoenix Christian Basketball YouTube channel, live from the Cougar Den. My name is Nicholas Pietrzycki. I'll be taking you along all the action here for the next 15 minutes and about 18, well, just about a little more than 15 minutes of action left from the Cougar Den as Hagen goes to intercept a pass intended for Sam, but is the last one to touch it. Cougar defense making their presence known, only allowing 4 points in the second quarter. 3 from Anderson, good. Daniel Anderson now with 8 points, and only 1 more point, and the Griffins match their point total from the second quarter. Sandoval kicks it to Moore-Neal, back out to Guerrero, who just saves it. Going back to the Cougar defense, allowing 46.8 points per game and allowing 561 total points to be scored in 12 games this season. Sandoval driving, left-handed effort, good.
In the lane for 2.
Xavier Sandoval now with 8 on the night. Fredrickson, 15-footer, no. Rebound hauled in, but then grabbed by Hagen. Sandoval wants it himself. Guerrero from downtown, no good. Ruben Guerrero still looking for his first points of the night. Calls a hold against Anderson. Anderson, a couple of emphatic dunks in the first half as he'll quickly be subbed out for Zaire Smith, and Coach Stryzak quickly explaining, hey, you're getting close to foul trouble. I might need you for the fourth quarter. As Moore-Neal intercepts a pass, and it hits a little girl unintentionally. She did appear to be okay and walked off under her own power, back to her mother. Anderson, a nice pass, but it's Cougar basketball. Anderson trying to find Ethan Wilson in the left post. A little issue with the net being tangled. That's Malachi Moore-Neal. This jumps up to the rim and fixes it with ease. How about that? The athleticism there of Malachi Moore-Neal. Just casually jumps up, holds on with one hand, and fixes the net. Now, I know that's the standard for NBA players and even collegiate players nowadays, but to be a sophomore in high school and to do that with that much ease is honestly something that is incredible. Hagen, corner 3, and Hagen draws the foul. Shot was more of a line drive, if you will, and Hagen
Jace Hagen at the line, shooting 3.
at the line shooting 3 instead of the normal 2. Hagen looking for his first points of the night. There's number 1. Hagen second, up and in. And Hagen goes 2 for 3 from the line, missing the maybe quintessential bonus free throw, if you will. 5:35 left to play in the third quarter. Cougars lead 32-17. Sam down low, a jumping Malachi Moore-Neal misses the block, but so does Kraus on his layup. Zaire Smith kicks it out to Morneal. Morneal driving up with the right hand off the mark, but a foul. Now Morneal, a chance to shoot two. Morneal makes just one. He'll be the leading scorer tonight for the Cougars. Morneal's first. Off the back of the iron, just a little less on it, and that would have went in. Morneal doesn't make the adjustment, but Zaire Smith hauls in the rebound. Sandoval driving baseline, his layup, no good, put back slam by Morneal, and the N1. Say Malachi Morneal took the long way to get 2 points after missing his two, and he massaging his lower back. Looked like he went up a little awkwardly. No matter for the sophomore, as he now is 13 on the night. Wilson dishes it out to Som. 4:45 left to play in the third quarter. Shot blocked by Morneal.
Foul number 20.
Jacob Kraus visibly upset, and
14 foul.
he'll be taken out. In for Kraus is Maddox Smith. Sandoval dishes it to Smith. Now Guerrero working at the top of the three-point line. Hagan, spin around, off the backboard.
At the line to shoot two.
For a second you thought it went in, and
Foul number 10.
then you realize it's not even really close. Hagan still does his job and draws a foul. Hagan, 2 for 3 from the line so far tonight. Checking in for the Cougars is Dom Paris. Checking out Xavier Sandoval. And Hagan misses his second, nearly gets his own rebound. So Hagan in the third quarter, 3 for 5 from the free throw line. And Glendale Prep takes a full timeout. Cougars haven't needed to use any timeouts per se. 4 minutes and 4 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Cougars 36, Griffins 17, and you look at the pace of where this game is, no one coming in tonight expected it to be a 19-point Cougar lead, but that is where we're at now. Malachi Morneal, 13 points. Morneal almost himself scoring the exact amount of points as Glendale Prep, and that's something in and of itself. Also contributing and getting surely a new season high, Xavier Sandoval, 8 points. And then, of course, the senior Bryce Anderson with 10 of his own. The way this game's going, we might not see much more of Bryce Anderson. Kind of did his job in the first half, and his night might be over for the moment if the Cougars' lead grows or stays the same. Cougars tomorrow night taking on Phoenix Country Day, a team that they lost to. Just about a week back as
Timeout. Cougars.
right as
30
I
seconds
say they
out.
don't take any timeouts. The Cougars do take a timeout this time to keep the ball as it's Jacob Somm in the far left corner hobbling a little bit. Somm has played quite frequently here through 2.5 quarters. Somm shaking his left leg. Having a little trouble putting weight on it. He's going to head back to the bench. And if he checks back in, we'll let you know. Checking in for Somm is Sprouse, as well as Fredrickson also back in the game. Dish it to Moore-Neal from Sandoval. Sandoval to Moore-Neal connection that has been working quite well here tonight. Pass tipped by Zaire Smith. And a foul called against Moore-Neal.
Foul number 10, Malachi.
Just getting a little
Second team.
too excited there. Moore-Neal just a little bit too eager on the poke as Sprouse takes a deep three. Rebound collected by Zaire Smith. .310 left to play here in the third quarter. Smith into Hagan. Smith taking himself. Athletic layup, no good. But he finds the ball somehow once again. Paris's floater, no good. Ball settled for the moment. And intercepted by Xavier Sandoval. Can he finish? No, but he draws the foul. Hard foul there on Sandoval. He went quite the distance, and
That's number 14.
little kids tonight are
Xavier on the line, shooting 2.
getting a real taste of what basketball is. Sandoval almost crashing in to another little girl. She is okay and is climbing the stands here. And boy, talk about a defensive back play. Xavier Sandoval, before getting injured, he was the starting free safety as well as the quarterback for the Phoenix Christian basketball team. And had the game-winning interception against Shadow Mountain Week 2 to seal a 30-28 Phoenix Christian win that ultimately propelled the football team to an 8-2 record, but a first-round exit in the AIA playoffs. Sandoval 2 for 2 from the line. Sandoval now tied with Anderson for 10 points. And the Cougars lead 39-17 with 2:31 left to play in the third quarter. And now Sandoval called for a reach-in foul.
Xavier Sandoval, third team foul. Into the Cougar round. Ruben Guerrero for number 4. Xavier
Ruben
Sandoval.
Guerrero checks in. Sandoval checks out. Once again, his night might be close to being over. Kraus looking for an option. Can't seem to find it.
Cougar ball.
And it ends with the ball in favor of the Cougars and a technical foul against Kraus. Kraus all night has not been happy with calls by this officiating crew, and he made it very vocal back in the first quarter and just made it too vocal right there. Ruben Guerrero, the one to shoot the free throw. He misses the first. So Guerrero, another chance to get his first point of the night. And he does. Ruben Guerrero will not have a 0 in the points column tonight. Kraus
30-second timeout, Griffins.
takes the load off, as maybe not for too long, as Glendale Prep calls another timeout, 30-second timeout.
Cougars have had a great third quarter, fans. Make some noise.
Well, going back to the second quarter, where the Cougar defense held Glendale Prep to 4 points. So far, with 2:18 left to play in the third quarter, Griffins have only scored 3, and that came on their first shot of the third quarter with a Daniel Anderson 3-pointer. Jacob Som, okay, and back in the game, about to inbound. Also on the floor for the Griffins, Smith, Sprouse, Anderson, and Dylan Lincoln for the first time tonight. For the Cougars, Hagan, Smith, Moore, Neal, Paris, and Guerrero. Smith dishes to Paris. Guarded closely by Som. And Smith draws a foul against, well, Smith.
That was number 14.
Maddox Smith, the guilty culprit, not Zaire Smith.
Zai at the line to shoot two.
Zaire Smith, another Cougar that has played tonight, still looking for for his first points of the night. First one off the front of the iron, just a little more on it. Bryce Anderson and a couple other Cougars saying quick form, fixing technique. And it helped because Zaire Smith goes 1 for 2 from the line and matches Guerrero with 1 point on the night. Cougars lead 41-17. A press from the Cougars, not letting the Griffins get any breathing room whatsoever. Pass tipped and intercepted by Paris, and then recollected by the Griffins. Moore Neal rips the pockets of Anderson. Smith, and he'll pseudo-dunk it.
Beautiful pass inside.
To the disappointment of his teammates. Anderson and the rest of the Cougar bench thought what I was thinking, which was a dunk, but Zaire Smith kind of just went up and almost cherry dropped it in. Foul against Sprouse and the Cougars. A chance to add to their already impressive lead. I think you can say this is the last we'll see of Anderson, potentially even more Neal soon. Paris, an easy 2-point putback.
Down for 2.
Under a minute to play. Cougars lead 45-17. Zaire Smith trying to pick the pockets of the Griffins. This time just a little too much for the officials' liking. 53.4 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Gio Young checks in quick for Guerrero. Moore Neal almost intercepts Maddox Smith. Sprouse's shot's blocked.
Griffin ball.
Zaire Smith, the last one to touch it, and the Griffins retain possession. Shot from Fredrickson off the mark. Young up quick to Moore Neal. Moore Neal going to take it himself, and a contested layup.
Takes it himself for 2.
Malachi Moore Neal improving his tally to 17. Anderson mid-range floater, good. Last shot being yelled from the Cougar sideline as they look to take himself. 2 seconds, 1 second. Cyrus Smith's three off the front of the rim. No good.
Third quarter, your Cougars lead the Griffins 47-19. Make some noise, fans.
24 minutes played, 8 more to go from the Cougar Den. Phoenix Christian leading Glendale Prep 47-19. We'll take a short break and be back with you in a moment. Welcome back to the Cougar Den for the final quarter of play in the final 8 minutes of action. Bryce Anderson's day is in fact not done as Anderson, Sandoval, Hagen, Moorneal, and Guerrero, the 5 on the floor for the Cougars. For the Griffins, Anderson, Sprouse, Fredrickson, Somm, and Smith. Griffins just held to 5 points
Travel, Cougar ball.
in the third quarter as Sprouse travels as he's trying to pump fake. Words that I don't think many would think to hear from Coach
Foul number 11.
Stryzak. Rubin,
Cougar ball.
Hugo B, the big man. Guerrero listed only at 6 foot even. In fact, the shortest Cougar out there on the floor, tied with Hagen. Hagen also 6 foot. Anderson 6'6", Moorneal 6'3". Alley-oop attempt to Anderson. He can't get it to go. Cougars lead by 28 to start the fourth quarter. As they're up by so much, the clock will continue to run. Somm. Sprouse, elbow three, no good. Rebound by Maddox Smith, good. Maddox Smith with his first point of the game. Sandoval to Hagen. Sandoval guarded closely by Sprouse. A foul against Sandoval. Glendale Prep will take anything they can. Right now being down 47-21. Now down by 26. Fredrickson, mid-range jumper, off the mark. Easy rebound to grab for Anderson. .620 left to play from the Cougar Den. Hagen driving. Spin away fader, good!
With the fadeaway.
Jace Hagen looking like a prime Dirk Nowitzki with that fadeaway. Follow-up shot from Anderson, good, and the and one. Anderson a chance to convert what would be the first and one of tonight's game. Gio Young checking in for Moore Neal. Anderson now with 13 points on the night. Now will be Bryce Anderson to take it up for the Cougars. He'll take it himself. Simple layup. Not so much, but
Helps himself out for 2.
Bryce Anderson with his first points of the second half in what would be described as a Rube Goldberg way of getting them. Fredrickson's layup off the mark. Ball still on the floor, eventually collected by the Cougars. Guerrero, corner 3, off the mark. 5:13 left to play in the final and fourth quarter of action as Hagan with a reach-around foul.
Foul's number 24, Jace Hagan. 13 foul.
Checking into the game for the first time today, Javian Willis. Contested layup, good from Sprouse. And Talon Sprouse with his first points of the night. Oh, we saw Daniel Anderson convert an and one recently. Let's see if Sprouse can do it. Sprouse can. Under 5 minutes to play, Cougars lead 51-27. Zaire Smith. Anderson, the follow-up slam off the mark. Sprouse kicks out, eventually finding Leo Pietra from deep. Zaire Smith somehow maintaining possession of the ball. Now an Anderson 3, no good. Sprouse cherry picking, pump fakes a 3. Hagan once again trying to reach in, get a steal this time a little too much as substitution coming for the Cougars. 2. Actually make it, 2 substitutions. Achilles Lopez checking in for Zaire Smith and Xavier Sandoval checking in for Hagan as his night appears to be over with 4:05 left to play in the fourth quarter. Pietro guarded closely by Willis. Three from Anderson, no good. And the ball stays in the Griffins' court. 3:49 left to play in the fourth.
22, 15 foul. Griffins at the line.
I beg your pardon, Leo Patera at the line shooting 2. Patera trying to become the 7th Griffin to score a point here tonight. And he cannot rebound, hauled in by Achilles Lopez. Bryce Anderson, a little start and stop. Contested layup, no good. But Anderson draws the foul.
Bryce Anderson at the line to shoot 2.
Anderson at the line to shoot 2. Anderson's first. Woo! I think Anderson was even surprised that that one managed to sneak its way in. Anderson second. Off. The official says ball stays here. Fouls on Jacob Som. Som and Anderson, the 2 captains for this Griffin squad. 3:39 left to play. Achilles Lopez from deep. Off the front of the iron. Rebound collected by Anderson. He'll take it himself, a one-handed jam. Took Anderson about 2 strides to get there, and he finishes it with one hand. Patero's corner 3, no good. Rebound grabbed by Achilles Lopez.
Jump ball.
Possession arrow.
Griffins ball.
Points to Glendale Prep. Some more substitutions now coming in. Dom Paris and Cyrus Renteria in for Xavier Sandoval and Bryce Anderson. See some of the guys towards the end of the bench getting some time later on in a game, as 3 there from Som. His second 3 of the night. Achilles Lopez bringing up the ball. The fans love it. Now Gio Young, floater. The Tony Parker was no good. 3 from Sprouse, good.
Timeout, Griffins.
Cougars, 2:39 to play in the 4th quarter. Still lead by 21. You got to think, too, at what point do you maybe say if it gets too close, do you put Anderson and Malachi Moore-Neal maybe back in there? For the moment, on the floor for the Cougars, Cyrus Renteria, Achilles Lopez, Gio Young, Javian Willis, and Dom Paris. For the Griffins, Daniel Anderson, Patera, Sprouse, Som, and Dylan Lincoln. Young dishes to Willis. Willis, an open 3, no good. The Cougar bench was ready for the celebrations on that one. Patera 3, off the back of the iron. Achilles Lopez just grabbing rebounds at will. Willis behind the back floater, or I should say maybe a step back, but it's a travel. Under 2 minutes to play. Cougars lead 54-33. Three from Lincoln, bang! Young, driving with the left, loses it, and collects. Willis in the paint, and he'll draw a foul.
15 foul.
Under a minute and a half to play. Cougars lead by 18. Willis's first free throw off the mark. Willis rushed for exactly 1,000 yards this season for the Phoenix Christian football team. And when I mean 1,000 yards exactly, he hit it exactly on the nose, 1,000 even. Gio Young with the steal. Can he take it coast to coast? Yes, he can.
Coast to coast for 2.
Minute 9 left to play from the Cougar Den. 3 from Sam, nowhere close. Young finds Achilles Lopez. Renteria. Just hands it to Young. Sam driving. Block attempt by Willis. Instead, it's a foul. And a trip to the line for Jacob Sam. Sam's first free throw off the mark and no good. Achilles Lopez hauls in another rebound, and jump ball arrow favors Phoenix Christian. 40.8 seconds left to play, and surely one of the last possessions of the game for the Cougars. Cougars still want to play fast. Gio Young from 3. Nowhere near. 27.1 left to play. Griffins in the bonus. First free throw off the back of the iron and no good for Lincoln. Excuse me, maybe rather his first. I didn't think the foul occurred beyond the three-point line. So Lincoln goes 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Dom Paris getting the crowd a little bit excited. Renteria, a 3. Yeah, nowhere near. As after that, Gio Young will hold the ball and will let the final seconds tick away. And that will do it from the Cougar Den.
At the end of the game, your Cougars win by a score of 56-38. Make some noise, fans.
Final score, Cougars 56 and Glendale Prep Griffins 38. Cougars win with their 10th win of the year. Griffins dropped to exactly 500 on the year at 8-8. Cougars back in action tomorrow at Phoenix Country Day, and a revenge match for what took place in the final game of the Coyote Basketball Invitational. A day where Phoenix Christian seemed to dominate from end to end, offensively, defensively. We saw a little bit of everything, and for myself, Nicholas Pietrzycki, that will do it here from the campus of Phoenix Christian. Thank you so much for those that have tuned in and listened throughout. Your support of Phoenix Christian basketball is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great night.